Hey guys, it is MissSimReno. If you are returning to the channel, welcome back. And if you are brand new, I am very excited that you decided to join me here today for another speed build. And we are actually building a rental lot in the world of Mount Komorebi. Yes, of course, we are back here. I only took a brief reprieve on Friday when I posted a build that I had actually pre-recorded. I have like tons of pre-recorded footage right now, and I don't know why I went on like this kick of builds right before a new pack. Blows my mind because I knew I was going to spend so much time in the new world and building. But yeah, I had the pre-recorded build on Friday and now we're back. So this is a rental lot that is only Snowy Escape and base game, which I thought was pretty exciting. And I think initially I thought it was going to be really challenging to build with just the new expansion of base game because I don't know, there's a lot of base game that I don't really like, and I didn't really think it was going to fit in with the architectural style that we got with this pack or any of the new objects. So I was pleasantly surprised to see that I could pretty much make an entire home with Snowy Escape. I don't even know what aspects of base game I used. It was probably mainly some flooring and I want to say not even wallpaper. I think it was mainly flooring and maybe some miscellaneous decorations here and there. I don't think I used any beds or real furniture from base game. So that's kind of nice. I thought it was a nice idea to try to do that, especially for those who don't have any of the other packs. Maybe this is the first expansion or just first DLC that you have gotten for The Sims 4. And I thought it would be kind of nice to have a few different builds that were complementary to that. So this ends up being a 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, if my memory is serving me correctly, rental home. So it is fairly small. And one of the bedrooms that is meant for like kids and stuff like that is actually open. It's basically the landing area when you go upstairs to the second floor. And the reason I did that, because I know it's a little bit odd to have just a bedroom that's open to the staircase because you have no privacy whatsoever. But considering it was a rental and that it wasn't meant to really be a private home, I don't even know what that means. I thought it was kind of okay, but you guys will see what I mean when we get up to that floor. But now we are working on kind of the color scheme. I wanted to use some of the different swatches for the wallpapers and stuff that we got with this pack. I wanted to use some lighter wood tones considering the default swatches are a really soft wood tone that I absolutely love. It's very warm. And then I really gravitate towards darker wood tones, like dark brown. But I thought it would be kind of nice to have a really bright rental home where it was very cozy and calming to kind of retreat to after you spent a day on the slopes or hiking or whatever the case may be. I again used a lot of platforming in this build and I've been enjoying it a lot more than the last time you heard me talk about it. I think last time was for the Mount Komorebi family home, and I was kind of complaining a little bit about it, to be honest, because they are a little bit janky. Like, I love the functionality of being able to do split levels like this. I think it's so cool, and I'm really enjoying how they make my builds look, but I don't know, it's still a little bit rough around the edges. I'm enjoying it a little bit more because now I understand if I place a platform a certain way, like within a room or whatever the case may be, I kind of know how to fix it a little bit more now. But for example, it always wipes out the foundation. Always wipes out the foundation, which still happens as well if you raise a foundation, change it to like, let's say a stilt foundation. If you start divvying up more rooms, it puts the default foundation back and it just drives me insane because I always have to change it. But I don't know, it was pretty straightforward in this build. I didn't have to toy around with things too much. But as you can see, the kitchen is pretty much together at this point. I didn't over-clutter it. I was so tempted to do so. But one of the things I wanted to make sure I did in this build was not over-clutter things because it's a rental. So it's not going to be super personalized. It's not going to have all of these random clutter items all over the place, even in the kitchen. So I tried very hard. I just finished the kitchen and moved on to the rest of the home to really kind of set the tone, I suppose. And here is where I pull out the Parenthood Mirror, and that is the one that I end up removing. So that is the only item that popped up. I checked the gallery when I saved this lot to my own library. It only flagged for Snowy Escape. I made sure. And also, if you do notice that any items are missing when you place this build, I noticed this recently where I went back into my Mount Komorebi family home for my Let's Play. And when I was filming that and I jumped inside the house, I realized the staircase was gone. And that seems to happen when you start futzing around with platforms. I don't know the exact reason why. I'm not sure if anyone does, but if you do, please let me know because yeah, I was noticing that like tons of furniture and like clutter items and stuff were just missing. They were just gone, and I had, move objects on. I had everything on, so it made no sense. And it seems like the stairs were the culprit or not the culprit, they were basically the item that was missing most of the time. So if you do notice that, if you download builds from the gallery and things are just like missing, know that it's not because I didn't complete the build. It's likely just a glitch with the game. We've been having a lot of glitches with the most recent patches. Aside from the stairs glitching and like things may be missing sometimes, because it doesn't happen all the time, I have been very, very lucky to not have my game crashing and to not be experiencing the crashing, especially when you're up to like the fastest speed. I think I was hearing that too. If you up the speed that you're playing on, the game will just randomly crash. And think about gameplay. That's awful. I would be so angry if I lost like progress in my Let's Play, or if I lost progress on a build or something. It would drive me nuts if I had hours and hours of work and I lost it. So I have been saving very frequently, whether I'm building or playing, which is why things might seem a little bit more cut up as well, because I might save quickly and maybe get distracted and have to come back to something later. But yeah, it's really not good, and I really hope that they can fix it soon. I know that we had the hot patch, like the emergency patch, to kind of fix those things, and then I was hearing that people were saying it was crashing more, or that it specifically impacted Mac players compared to PC players. I don't really know why it's happening to certain people and not others, but it really stinks. So hopefully it's fixed soon. But I am still decorating this kind of like entry area where I did put the kotatsu, and then over here is the living space. Originally, this home didn't have this little elongated piece that we're decorating right now, this living space. I was trying to make it actually super small, but I really couldn't divvy up the floor plan the way I wanted to. So adding this space I thought was actually really nice. So they have the elevated platform, and would you look at that? I put a television in a Mount Komorebi build. In a Snowy Escape build, I finally put a TV. I have not been putting TVs in my Snowy Escape builds, and I don't know why. It almost feels as though they don't fit. And I can't explain it. There's no reason, to be frank. Like, there's absolutely no reason. But I have been doing that a lot, where I've just been not including TVs as a source of entertainment. And I'm realizing, one, that The Sims gravitate towards the TV more than most things, which drives me crazy. So I kind of enjoy not having a TV in a house sometimes. But I also realize that it's a great source of fun and entertainment, and sometimes The Sims really need that. So I did include one here because I figured, maybe a day off from going skiing or snowboarding or hiking or something, you might just want to kind of cozy up next to the fire and like watch some TV. There's no harm in that. And I love this living room so very much. It's super, super cozy and comfortable. I'm going to say cozy another like 5 times throughout this build at a minimum. But I just think it's really welcoming. That's really what I'm trying to get at. It's very welcoming. It's very peaceful. And that was really my goal with making this rental lot in the first place. And I also put the little snowboarding console table over on that wall. And I put that notebook there. And typically when I do that in family homes, if it's on a console table, like kind of near the front of the home, not in an office, I will pretend that it's kind of like a guest book. Think of like an Airbnb. And then I'm placing those little space heaters as well. Let me just tell you the tragic story of my test sim when I put all of those little space heaters in here. I put one in the entryway, I think near the kitchen, like near the kotatsu, and I think I put one in the living room. I would recommend getting rid of those. I'm not going to lie to you. I think they're great because you could do like the auto turn on type thing, which is really cool. And they obviously provide heat. That's wonderful. However, that thing caught fire 4 times in a row. 4 times in a row. I play tested this for a total of 5 minutes. Like, I can't even lie. I did not play test this super long because I play test the essentials and then I back out and I save it and I move on with my day. However, that thing caught fire at least like 4 or 5 times. And the firefighters have to come. The firefighters from the previous fire were still there when they had to show up again because it caught fire. It caught fire on the kotatsu. And it wasn't the kotatsu that was actually heating anything catching fire. It was from the space heater. So just word to all of you guys, if you have not played around with those, don't leave them on like the auto on or off setting, because that is why it was continuously catching fire. Anyway, we're on to the upstairs. So this is that kind of like open bedroom that I was telling you guys about in the beginning. There is no door to this bedroom, which I don't really mind. I don't think the kids really need their own like separate room. I don't even know where that thought's coming from, but for a rental, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. And I was kind of trying to think of these beds as even cots that you would just lay out if you had more guests. Maybe this was, I don't know, only situated as one bedroom, but they had cots, so you could at least set up this area up here as a bedroom. I have no idea. It doesn't even make sense, so just ignore it. But this is the master bedroom here, and there really isn't too much in this room. I did put a dresser from Base Game in here, and then there's kind of like the fake closet on the other side of this room, like in the kids' room there. And I also used these posters that we got with this pack that show like skiing or snowboarding and hiking and everything, because I thought it really represented that it was a rental home. It wasn't really traditionally decorated, if that makes sense. And then when I finish up the house here, I actually move on to the landscaping, because I finished the entire house before I even did the landscaping, which is, I would say, probably a bit unusual for me. I usually do the exterior before I even go on to the interior, but I really didn't know what I wanted to do for the landscaping here, because this is really the first time that I heavily landscaped in Mount Komorebi, and I have heavily in like little air quotes because it's really not that heavy compared to my normal landscaping, but I really wasn't sure how to pick the appropriate plants to really blend in with the world, so I did go into the debug menu to try to find a few different things, and this lot was just a little bit awkward with the home that I created. At least I think it is, because it's kind of like this longer lot, and I kind of created a long home, so I didn't really know if I could add too many activities on the exterior. But what I end up doing is I do some of the landscaping, and then I actually put an onsen outside. And when I say an onsen, I really just mean a hot spring. I don't mean an entire bathhouse. I actually just put a hot spring out there on the side because I chose the one with the stones, so it really looks like a natural hot spring, and I thought it fit in really nicely, but you guys can be the judge of that. I thought it was kind of a nice activity to have on this rental property. Like, it was built right next to this natural hot spring, so it's definitely a luxury at staying at this home. And you'll also notice in the screenshots, I took them in, I think, winter or fall. I can't really remember. I think it was winter. So all of this really nice green shrubbery, like colored landscaping, is gone, or it looks dead. So apologize, but that's what happens in the seasons. But this is pretty much almost the end of the build. So I hope you guys did enjoy this. I definitely want to build more rental lots in different worlds. So that's definitely something I'm thinking about. But let me know what you guys think, and I will catch you next time I post a video, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!
You ever wonder if days like these last with one another, with the feeling pass? Would you find out with me if it all starts to crumble? We'll search the pieces for a hope or a mumble. It's not for me to decide if I should be the one by your side. And hope we know when it's better to say goodbye.